morning and welcome to another episode of the Newspaper Review here on Thav TV. My name is Williams Abule and today is the 14th day of January 2022. You know what we do here? We go through the headlines on the national and local dailies and we discuss them. So if this is the first time you're seeing this video, you're very much welcome. I want to thank all our viewers that have stuck onto this platform for as long as you have been. We're really happy to always have you. Well, today, let's go straight to taking the headlines from the national dailies and the local ones, of course. A lot has been happening, and we can't wait to see what's happening around us. And don't forget to drop your comments and your reactions on all the comment section on all the social media platforms. We're on Facebook as Thav TV, on Instagram is Thav TV_NG. Thank God Twitter is back, so we're also there as @Thav TV. So you can check us out on Twitter. Here on YouTube is Thav TV. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell to always get notified whenever we come up with a new episode. Let's go straight to taking the headlines this morning. We begin with the Daily Times newspaper for today, Friday, the 14th of January 2022. And the big headline here says, corruption has hurt Nigeria's image, deprived us of foreign direct investment. Federal government charges EFCC board to put in place policies that will contribute significantly to anti-graft war. All right, that's the big headline here on the Daily Times. So pick up a copy and read up the story. Also, we see here Buhari visits Ogun, inaugurates monumental projects, lauds Abiodun for delivering visionary leadership trailblazing projects. All right, so pick up a copy of the Daily Times, like I said, and read up the stories. That is, we need to get more details of that story. So we move on to the Vanguard newspaper, and then the headliner here says, parents groan as school owners charge spurious fees. That's on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. School collects 287,903 naira as application fees, 7.25 million as tuition. We offer value for money, NAPS. Improve public schools. The answer, National Union of Teachers, I beg your pardon. Parents should know their limits. NAPTAN. We can't legislate on fees, the federal government. So if you need to know all about that, please pick up a copy of the Vanguard newspaper and of course move to page 5 to get the full story. We also see here stopping Rivers artisanal refinery suit has turned war. Wike, of course, we all know here in Rivers State, the Governor Wike has begun a war against illegal refinery in order to stop the suit that Port Harcourt residents have been living with for quite some time. And it's a good move. And a lot of Rivers residents are happy about that. And then we also see other headlines here on the Vanguard newspaper. Ezekwesili Utomi Agbakoba, 77 orders make Soludo's transition committee. That's in Anambra State. All right, so we move on to News Direct newspaper for the 14th day of January 2022. And the big headline here says, cooking gas prices to crash as LNG dedicates 100% LPG production for Nigeria. And that's a very good news, as you know, gas prices has really caused a lot of outcry for many Nigerians residents. But from the headline here today, we see that the federal government has woken up to try and do something about that. And then we also see North Central legislature pass vote of confidence in Buni, endorse Bello for president. All right. We take on the other headlines here. Buhari inaugurates legacy projects in Ogun. Says he's proud of Governor Abiodun's achievement. All right, that's all we can take from News Direct. If you need to get all the story, please pick up a copy and read up the story. So we'll move on to Daily Trust newspaper. Let's take on Daily Trust newspaper. The first headline I'll take here is that of concerning the gas reduction, gas price reduction. It says LNG to dedicate 100% cooking gas supply for domestic market. All right, and then the big headline here says APC crisis twist as Tinubu, Fayemi resolve to work together. They have a long-standing relationship. It's Ekiti governor's spokesman. New alliance may shock many people. Faleke, others seek divine intervention for Asiwaju. All right, all of that is on the Daily Trust newspaper. So if you need to get up the story, so do well to pick up a copy and read up. Don't forget to drop your comments and your reactions on the comment section. We'll be really glad to hear from you. Let's continue with the Punch newspaper for the 14th day of January 2022. And the big headline here says, Omoteku combs Southwest Forest for fleeing Northwest terrorists. And that's on page 8 of the Punch newspaper. Under that, we also see Ekiti Omoteku collaborating with hunters, farmers, forest guards to fish out criminal bandits. President's recent statement shows he doesn't understand how serious insecurity is at Pennyfair. All right, then we take this other headline here on the Punch News where it says, will present presidential candidates for Southeast, says Ohaneze. All right, will present presidential candidates for Southeast, says Ohaneze. All right, so let's take this last one from the Punch News where it says, court orders interim forfeiture of 110.4 million traced to teacher accomplices. All right, next we take on the Daily Sun newspaper for the 14th day of January 2022. The big headline here says, federal government talks tough on corruption, vows no infraction will go unpunished, inaugurates EFCC board. Absence of board not hampering our productivity. Bauer. All right, and then we also on the Daily Punch newspaper we see 2023. Why I'm yet to join presidential race. Carlo Omedi declares on ABGA platform. All of that is on page 3, 8, and 18 of the Daily Sun newspaper. Also on the Daily Sun newspaper, we see we are ready to drop Obaship titles. Ibadan Obas reply Makinde. You need to know what's going on all around that very headline. Please pick up a copy of the Daily Sun newspaper and move to page 6 to read up the story. We see this very interesting one here. It says Twitter, US, EU, UK hail return to Nigeria. We are committed to the country microblogging site. All right, so that's coming on the heels of the return of Twitter. A lot of Nigerians have reacted to the return of Twitter and they're really excited about it. We on Tap TV, we're also excited about it. Don't forget to follow us on the microblogging app. We are at Tap TV on Twitter. All right, stay with us. Thank you very much for staying with us. Don't forget to drop your comments and your reaction on the comment section and on any of the platforms that you're watching us from. Right now, this morning, I've been joined by Mr. Victor Sioku and Mr. Sonny Gomorai. They're going to be my commentators for this morning. All right, let me begin with you, Mr. Victor. I saw a very interesting headline in one of the newspapers that was talking about, the interest of the International Committee, Europe, and the UK. They are all excited about the return of Twitter to Nigeria's, social media space. So, what's your take on that? Are you also excited?
Yes, I'm excited because Twitter is a space where many Nigerians go to vent their um, their opinions to the world. So cutting it short made the fraction of the populace of Twitter to go down, and I hope that going forward we can express our opinions further.
Many, I've heard the popular opinion that all of the Twitter ban was very political. That the present government did it to actually cut the power of many Nigerians that have continually used that platform to push some of their demands and their grievances. And we all know where the popular NSAS protest started from. So do you also agree that it is very political?
It is highly political because after as soon as the president put up that tweet that he referred, he talked about the civil war, talked about civil war, that those group of persons, that he will speak to them to the language that they understand. So that was offensive, and Twitter had to bring down his tweet, and the ban came. So you can't tell me that it wasn't political. In as much as they came up with the story that Twitter needs to register as a company in the country, but aside that, they could have used giving them more like a deadline,
without banning them.
Yes, without banning them. Say, okay, guys, come register and pay your taxes. Okay, but they were just it was out of ego. It was out of ego, and as you can see, we have lost so much money from the whole thing. Our network providers, it's crazy that they kept mute. They were just dying there because people weren't buying, because some guys out there, they just use Twitter. They don't care about Facebook or WhatsApp.
It was one of the most effective.
So they lost the sales of data at a time it went so down. With respect to Twitter users. So I believe going forward, the government must have learned their lessons. Then will I say Twitter must have learned their lessons?
I think they have to.
I would like to also add something to the Twitter ban. I think it's very insensitive on the part of our government to have banned Twitter, because we have a very high rate of unemployment today in Nigeria in terms of the youth. And our population, the population of any country, has you first look at the youths before the aged people. And a lot of Nigerian youths today work online. We have a lot of people that do their businesses on Twitter. Like, people do a lot. The entertainment industry, those people that are into fashion, So you can imagine the period, the costs, the money that we've lost as a nation. You understand? So sometimes when they want to do things or react to anything that is happening, they should first look inward, look how these things are going to affect our economy before just coming up with one ban just because of. For me, as far as I'm concerned, banning Twitter was just selfish.
Yes, and very, very uncalled for. All right, moving on, we see on Vanguard newspaper this very interesting headline that has to do with Rivers State. That has to do with stopping Rivers artisanal refinery suit has turned war. Wike, that's the headline on Vanguard newspaper. So let me ask you, Mr. Sonny, we know that Rivers residents have been crying out loud as to how our, environment has been badly, polluted by soot, and this is as a result of this, illegal refineries. We call it bullfire here in Rivers State. What's your reaction as to what the governor is doing presently? We see him on videos going into the bushes.
I think, for me, the governor wouldn't have waited this long, because even here where we're seated right now doing this recording, you can find out that the atmosphere is very hot. There's no sun practically out right now, but
it looks
the
cloudy.
weather is hot.
It looks cloudy.
Like in the nights, you hardly sleep. And in this country, we have epileptic power supply, where everybody have to use our own power. We virtually generate our own power. So you can imagine sleeping all through the night. So much heat. And the atmosphere, for me, I always tell my wife that the atmosphere is blocked. Because, yes, there's no air. And you can imagine what we're experiencing right now in January 2021. We started having rainfall, which is abnormal. which is abnormal. And I think because of the coal fire, whatever we call it, it's causing there's depletion in the ozone. That's why you can see the weather is not stable. Today we are having rainfall when we are not supposed to have rainfall. We are having, So I think for me, if I'm the governor, I'll come very hard on them, very very hard on them, because right now, even in your houses, we clean our houses every day. Like we have to mop the house because of the pollution. Sometimes you bring out sputum from your mouth. You are seeing black toxic. All these things can cause cancer.
Me, I cannot even remember the last time I saw dust. There's no dust in River State. So what we have here is black dust. I don't know what to call it, whether it's called dust or not.
A lot of health issues will spring up as a result of this. So what I would advise that the government should have done was to also invite these people that are into these businesses. Just like when the former minister was here, when Desiene was here, she was advocating that we create modular refineries for these people, give them license to produce, and also inspect these refineries. You understand? Give them some kind of soft loans, tell them how they can get this in through the proper channels, which will also create employment. You understand? Whether I would like it or not, this illegal refinery is creating employment, but there's a more better way to do it. You understand? So it's not a lot about going to destroy where they are operating from, because when you destroy one, they'll produce another. They'll produce another 10. You understand?
It's true.
So for me, there should be a better approach in solving this situation. If not, we'll continue to face all these hazards we are seeing now.
All right, thank you very much.
I think the government should go hard on them. If you check history, Boko Haram, they went soft on them. Before you knew it, everything exploded. Down to bandits. You heard the story about Zamfara. 200 persons killed in 2 days. 200 persons in one village.
That's very insane.
200 persons. Man, those guys came like in thousands. How can we have up to 1,000 bandits with guns? As in, when I mean, oh my God, imported as in real guns, not just Okamid, real guns. So go hard on these people. We don't need them. Okay, make good use of our refineries. If you need to build more, you build more. Okay, because when you give them power, before you know it, this guy starts buying guns. You know what? Nigeria is a very difficult place. Okay, so I think they should go hard. Now, also the security forces, they are not doing us good. Because they are out there making money.
They're
making money off these guys.
Involved in the this loot and all of that. So
it's up there. Ahoda.
Yes,
it is happening there.
I noticed like the Ahoda axis where the Governor Wike went and destroyed those outlets where they were doing, but they are still there. Even with their chances being destroyed. So you just see them, they are still littering all around the road, which is not good for a state like that, like this.
Well, moving on, we pray that our governor is not doing this for just eye service. Let him really mean what he's doing and help us to clean our environment, because a lot of Rivers citizens and residents here will really suffered a lot. We don't know what the next 10 years holds for most of us and our babies. Most times I wonder what the lungs of our little children look like. So we pray that our governor really means what he's doing and does it well. All right, moving on, we also see this headline on Vanguard I'd like us to talk about. It says parents groan as school owners charge spurious fees. It's school fees month for most parents. After the holidays comes the school fees and all the expense, and parents are already shouting as the school fees from many schools are skyrocketing. Mr. Victor, what's your reaction to that?
My brother, it is not disturbing at all for me. Okay, right. They say cut your coat according to your size. I saw a report about a school, Stella Maris College in Abuja. They pay up to $15,000. Wow. That's over 8 million naira for school fees. My brother, Nigeria. This is Nigeria. Okay?
Yeah.
If you have 4 parents, you know what that means? $60,000 for school fees.
Yeah, for 4 pupils.
And the striking thing about these schools is that when you go down there, you can't see teachers being paid 1 million naira.
No.
Yes.
My brother, the school, is it a 5-star hotel? Okay?
Yeah.
So, well, it boils down to parents. If you want to use less your money, but parents should also know that after now there is still life for those kids.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't spend all that money knowing that in the space we are in. Okay, look at the other time in Ekiti, the best graduating students from a school that paid less than 40,000 naira in the whole of Ekiti. You have still good schools, like, I'm not here to do adverts though, but you still have some good Christian schools that pay less than 200,000.
We see here on the headline where the National Union of Teachers are also advocating that, government schools are also very good, but that the government should equip them for better service.
So, I want to also add something about this school issue. I think, just like Mr. Victor said, parents should do what is best for them. You understand? Because I've like me, I had the opportunity. I went to public school all my life. I never went to.
And they were really good.
Yes, I never went to private school. You understand? So, parents should also know how to augment their school children learning. If you know you cannot afford to put your child in a private school, why not put your child in a public school and augment the child's learning? You understand? And that was how we went through school. You understand? Then another thing, these private schools, I think our government is also not doing enough.
Oh well, they say they can legislate on the fees that
they cannot, but they can monitor these schools. Because some of these schools, just like Mr. Victor said, when you go there, you'll be amazed. You understand? The teachers they are collecting exorbitant school fees, but it's not impacting on the welfare, on the life of the staffs. You understand?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that government can also monitor what these schools do. And another area that I noticed in these schools, that if you check out their curriculums, you understand, they will bring American, British curriculum in a country that have its own curriculum. For me, I'm not okay with that, even though I know that some of our curriculums in our educational system should be scrapped.
Yes.
You understand? But why will a child, because some of these children, when you meet them, when they bring, because I have the opportunity to meet these children in different levels. You see a child sounding like a British. You meet the other one, is sounding like American. You meet the other one, is sounding like he's in China. You understand? See, let us not downplay on all these things they teach these children. We have a culture, we have a system. So all these things should reflect in our educational system. Because you not go to China and see China teaching in Chinese school, teaching the Nigerian curriculum. It's never gone anywhere. Histories have been taken out of our school. You understand? Where before, when I was growing up, we know the Nigerian history. We know how the amalgamation, everything. But these children of now, they don't know what is amalgamation. So a lot of these children, they don't really know about history, because history has been taken out of our schools today. So the government should just find a way to unify whatever the children are learning, so that we will not hear ourselves sounding like if we are doing borrowed courses. You understand?
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Victor, you have something to add?
Yeah, I think what is causing all this, giving the school the morale to keep increasing these prices, because the society itself, our mothers,
Our wives.
our wives, in many cases, they are the ones pushing the family, the husband, towards a tush ego-like schools.
Yeah, so they encourage these things.
They encourage these things, and they should please think very well before putting in their schools. Their words in such schools.
Thank you very much for your comments, Mr. Victor and Mr. Sunny. Well, that's all we'll be taking today. We hope that our federal government will kind of like ward into these activities of these schools to help our parents in both schools to get it right in terms of the school fees and curricular activities. Thank you very much for staying tuned up to this time. Well, don't forget to follow us on our social media handles. We're on Facebook at Tap TV. On Twitter is at Tap TV. On Instagram is Tap TV_NG. Here on YouTube is Tap TV. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell to always get notified whenever we come in live. Till next time, my name is William Sabule, and this has been the News Review segment.